All right, so to a lot of people, this is going to be really nonsensical. People are going to say, well, it's a no-brainer because I'm putting up a one-time Mr. Olympia versus an eight-time Mr. Olympia slash greatest bodybuilder of all time. I'm comparing Samir Bannout, 1983 Mr. Olympia, the Lion of Lebanon, versus the totally awesome Lee Haney, eight-time Mr. Olympia, and the person that inspired Ronnie to take the stage, winner of various Lifetime Achievement Awards. So I understand there's obviously a lot more thunder behind Lee Haney because of all the victories that he had and the dominance that he perpetuated in the 80s and the early 90s. But putting all that aside, looking strictly just at the physiques, because let's remember, Samir shut out Lee Haney in 1983. Lee Haney wasn't even second place; he was third. So, and people could make the argument that Lee Haney still hadn't hit his stride. But I don't really buy that. I mean, when you're top three in the world, you've hit your stride. I mean, what separates third from second or third from first is really just very minute, very slight, improvements, if even that. Because sometimes runner-ups have been the more deserving winners than the actual winners. So, I know a lot of people are going to say Lee Haney had a better back. I know a lot of people are going to say he was taller and the muscle flowed better. Those are all valid arguments. But the Lion had some sick-ass triceps, very, very thick chest. He was very vascular. He was very dense. I mean, looking at the Lion of Lebanon, there's not a lot of physiques today that really look like his. I mean, I think Johnny Jackson, in my opinion, is a pretty close comparison. I mean, Samir was dense, but dense with vascularity. But I mean, I'm talking super hardcore dense. Lee Haney was big and he was striated and he was definitely symmetrical, but maybe I'm blind, but I just don't think that, Lee Haney had that density that Samir did. Now, I do think that Lee Haney had better sweep to his quads. He had better hamstrings. They were more pronounced. But, then again, Samir had, I think, stronger looking legs. I mean, Samir had stronger looking everything. But those arms, especially the triceps, those are like Gustavo Bedell type triceps right there. Even when they were just cold, not even flexed, his triceps were humongous. So, I don't know. Who do you prefer physique-wise? Taking aside all, the 8 Olympias versus the 1, taking all that aside, which guy had a better physique in your opinion? If you're a mass monster fan, if you're, a muscle fan, if you're a definition symmetry fan, you're going to have a different choice. But I just can't imagine. I mean, if it was like out of 10 votes, like 9-1, that's not really fair, I would think. I would think that's just somebody saying, well, this guy, Lee Haney, won 8 Mr. Olympias. He's a winner. So I'm hoping people will look beyond that because, like, if I was to poll 10 people and only one person picked Samir, I would think that wasn't a really fair vote. Now, if it was like, say, I don't know, 8-4, or 9 no, what am I saying? If that was like 8-2 or 7-3, something like that, maybe. I don't know. It also depends. Even if it was like, 9-1, I would just really want to see what you guys have to say. Like what you like base your vote on. If I just see somebody say Samir or somebody say, Lee, then I'm just gonna be like, yeah, whatever. But if you're a real bodybuilding fan, I would just like to know why you picked either one. And if you can't pick either one, why? I just want to know what you guys think. Because usually you don't see these like virtual comparisons between Samir and Lee Haney. You'll see them between Lee Haney and Dorian, Ronnie and Lee Haney. I've seen a lot of Dorian and Ronnie, a lot of Phil and Jay, Jay and Ronnie, Jay and Dorian. I haven't seen Jay and Lee Haney, but that's just like totally different physique. But I would just like to see, maybe that'll be the next one I do, but I would definitely like to see what you guys think between Samir and Lee Haney. I personally am going to lean more towards Samir. That's really where I'm at. And I'm a taller guy, but I just think Samir's triceps. I mean, this is not like the best triceps contest, but I just think between his triceps and just the depth of his muscle, I just see myself going more with Samir. What do you think?